Hello and welcome to... Wait a minute, Jake. Is this right? It says right here, minor implications.
That's right, Joaquin. Minor implications. For those of you at home, we have so many bad ideas for the show that we could not possibly have long-form discussions about, whether it's because we just both agree on what's going to happen, or maybe we're just not smart enough to talk about it, usually the second one.
Yeah.
So with that, let's begin with our top 5, each one of us, which is total of 10, minor implications, aka ideas that didn't quite make it to a fully formed episode and never will. So, do you want to start or should I?
You know what? Let me have a go at it.
Go right ahead.
My number 5. Should wars be illegal?
Okay. Can I hit you with it doesn't really matter?
Yeah.
Because I don't think that wars are ever going to stop. I believe that if there were a utopian type society where wars would stop, we would have reached that point already.
Yeah.
But even in a perfect world, we're never going to stop warring.
I 100% agree with you. I don't even know what I was thinking about when I wrote this because it's like something that sounds smart on paper, but then you think anything about it and you're like, wait a minute.
You imagine,
wars you could probably go with wars are already illegal. They just do them anyways.
Right. Can you imagine the UN was like, all right, we're officially outlawing war, the concept.
Yeah.
Countries would be like, all right, bet, I'm still doing it though.
Yeah.
There's no way around it. So that was probably my favorite one. I'm so glad we started with that.
Well, what's your number 5 then?
Wow, we're powering through these. Holy shit. All right.
I guess we are.
My number 5 is, should we rebuild the 7 wonders of the world? Now, I stand pretty firmly at a hell yes. Why haven't we already?
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Without the use of slavery.
Yeah, of course.
That we got to clarify something.
Should slavery be okay now?
No.
It's the new best implications topic.
No.
Damn. All right. Okay, fine.
No. That's going straight to minor.
Straight directly to minor. No, we should rebuild them, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I actually feel pretty strongly about this. The people who made those structures didn't make them to be destroyed in a few years, because some of those freaking 7 wonders get destroyed after 20 years of existence. So, the Colossus of Rhodes, I think was what it was called, the big statue in Rhodes about Helios. That one lasted less than one human lifetime, and that was 2,000 years ago. So the pyramids, they got to live for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, and it's well, if these are the 7 wonders of the world, they all deserve a virtually, I'm just going to say immortal status.
Yeah.
I think that as long as humans are around, still kicking about, fucking and doing drugs, I feel like we should still be keeping these things top notch, the same way we maintain our houses and stuff. And another thing about that, just one more little cherry on top here.
Yep.
If I am starting to create something, if I'm working and I'm building it together and I'm almost done, but then I die, I believe the morally correct thing to do is to finish what that person started. Whether that's a person related to them, whether it's someone who else has those skills. I think the correct thing to honor them is to carry on what they were doing.
Yeah, that depends whether or not the person gives permission on, I don't know, in their will.
Sure.
Because if I'm I don't want anybody to continue on this work, it could be selfish, but I wouldn't want them to.
Right.
So
well, yeah,
but I doubt
obviously
the people creating the 7 wonders of the world were if I die, I don't want anybody to continue doing this. No, because I feel aside from the slavery, it was mostly a pride of a sense of accomplishment by doing this. So, yeah. And I'll say another thing. We can have 2 Eiffel Towers. One in Vegas, which is not the most famous one.
Not at all.
One in Paris.
Not at all. It's a mock one.
It is the mock one, but if we can have 2 of those bad boys, someone can rebuild the 7 wonders of the world. Okay?
Absolutely. And the reason I bring up the whole death thing is when Paul Walker died, for example. They didn't just cancel Fast 7. They went to the trouble. They put their money where their mouth is. They foot the bill to recreate Paul Walker for the sequences he wanted to shoot and intended to shoot. And that was the movie that Paul Walker had intended to finish.
Yes.
So he unexpectedly was taken from us. So I really am of the firm belief that Paul Walker would want that movie to be completed.
However, his appearance in Fast 8, on the other hand,
that's a bit different.
That's a bit different.
He didn't agree to fast anything except 7. So You know, it's one thing of like, even like if the estates agreed with it, or like, okay, if Paul Walker in his will, I don't think he did this, but like if he wrote that like, I am okay if my face is used for like 100 Fast and Furious movies, if he writes that, that's one thing, but he didn't.
No, he did not.
So I'm okay with like carrying what he was doing to fruition, but don't add him in more movies. That's just weird.
Did he get his brother to do that real quick? Wasn't it like his brother?
Yeah, there were stand-ins, and then there were sequences with like full CGI heads.
Yeah,
that looked surprisingly good for full CG heads because we're not really great at doing that yet.
Yeah, more convincing than like other examples.
Yeah,
so
exactly. But yeah, I bring that up because like if freaking I don't know, guy who made Colossus of Rhodes or Hanging Waters of Babylon, which might be real. The guys who made those things didn't make them to just be destroyed and forgotten and written about in history books. They made them to have those things exist, and I feel like to honor them to bring them back. Yeah, that's just me. That's me.
No, I 100% get it.
All right, what's your number 4?
Oh, my number 4 is something very... The reason why we're not doing this one is because it's kind of something we already did.
Okay.
Toy Story, but real.
Okay, yeah.
So, toys, inanimate objects, would be able to come to life, and they're fully sentient. And doesn't that kind of sound familiar to another episode we did, Jake?
Where all animals are sentient?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dangerously similar.
So, yeah, I mean, in the world of Pixar, where all like the toys are happy and friendly, you know, you don't have to worry about any of that murder stuff. But in the real world, I feel like that's not how it would play out.
No, yeah, there's
it
definitely
would play out basically exactly the same as how it played out with the animal episode.
Right, and like in the real world, toys are just like, well, they're inanimate objects. They're not life forms. They're not sentient. So like, if I don't know, take the head off of like a G.I. Joe figure, if that was real, if that Toy Story was a thing, that's like murder, straight up.
That is straight
I
up
killed
murder.
that thing.
Yeah.
So like, they're like, imagine like toy repair people, like toy builder people. They'd be like, oh my god, can you imagine the equivalent of like human making body part sewing Frankenstein type style? Like
it's literally the same concept.
Those would be like psychopaths to the toy people. Like,
those
oh my
businesses
god,
would close down, or either
Also, like, do they come to life on the assembly line of like a factory? Is that where they gain their sentience? Because the Toy Story movies don't really talk about this. But like,
well, in Toy Story 2, remember the wall of Buzz Lightyear figures?
They were all alive.
They were all alive.
So they were alive before they were in that box, or by the time they're in the box.
By the time they were in the box, at least.
Okay, so do you think once they're packaged?
I mean, I don't know.
That's tough.
That is really tough.
Maybe like in Toy Story World, they assemble like a Buzz Lightyear, and then just like Frankenstein, they like lightning bolt it.
But what? Another thing. What about toys with batteries?
Oh my god!
Because Buzz was a toy with batteries. If you take the batteries out, you know he's dead.
He falls down dead until you put batteries in.
Yeah.
Oh my god! So they need batteries to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit! Yeah. No. All right.
So batteries, they don't need food, but like some toys need batteries.
That's
Other
crazy.
toys like I don't know Rex did not need batteries. He was
okay. Where does Rex gain it? Can toys? So wait, hold on. Toys can move on their own without like income, like food.
Well,
for example.
okay, you know what? I just thought of another thing. Potato Head, completely separated.
Oh my god.
Was able to move like his arms and legs.
Okay.
His eye, Mrs. Potato Head's eye, was disconnected from her body. Like it was at Woody's house. Like after they got moved to the daycare center, and she could still see from that eye.
So these toys do not require they like break the laws of physics.
Yeah,
they're perpetual motion. They don't require energy. They just
some of them do.
Well, yeah, okay, unless they do.
Unless they literally
do. Unless they have to. Like Buzz Lightyear is not perpetual motion machine, but Mr. Potato Head and the Slinky one are. And Woody, he doesn't have batteries, right?
No, he doesn't.
So he has a voice box. Wait.
Nope. His voice box got removed in Toy Story 4 and he was fine.
Oh my god, dude, that's crazy. This is so the way that it like doesn't make sense when you really try and think about it, because some of them are sentient, but if you take Buzz Lightyear's batteries out, he falls down, which means that he specifically isn't sentient.
Right.
Or like he's not perpetual motion machine, man. I don't know. I think this is like the animals episode on crack, basically.
Yeah.
But like we said in that episode, the reason why it's on this chart is because, hey, look, it's just the same topic again. It's like, yeah, laws are going to be passed. Yeah, there's going to be war between toys and people, which is funny because we're like 100 times their size. But like, Anything else to add on that, or
no, not really. You get like a bucket of army men though. They will fuck your shit up.
That's true. Just like how you were like the ants are gonna win. This is like the equivalent. The army men are gonna win.
The army men are gonna win.
Oh, do they gain the abilities of the character they're supposed to be?
No.
Okay.
No, because like if we're using Toy Story as the example, like Buzz believed that he could fly, but he couldn't.
Okay, yeah, because then like a Superman action figure is just an action figure.
Yeah.
But he thinks he's Superman, which means that I could just step on him and be like, I'm fine, and get crushed. I can stand this.
Some toys think that they're like the real version until they learn they're not.
Do they all initially believe they're the real
I
version?
think they do.
Okay, so they all have to be learned or taught.
They all have to be taught that they're toys.
So that means Woody thought he was real. No?
At one point, probably.
One point the movies don't get into? Okay.
Well,
right.
in the if we're okay,
I don't know.
In the first Toy Story, the whole point was like Buzz thought he was the real Buzz Lightyear,
Right.
And he got sad when he saw that he was a commercial. Like he saw a commercial of Buzz Lightyear toy. He was like, "Wait, I am a toy."
Mm-hmm.
Like he didn't believe Woody like before when Woody was like, "You are a toy."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But then he saw that commercial and he's like, "Well, fuck."
Yeah.
So existential dread for a little bit. They could really dive more into that if they wanted to.
They could. They should have. I don't know why they don't. Well, I knew why they don't. That's not a kid-friendly subject like the nature of Frankensteining life and death.
Yep.
Whatever. Yeah, all right. I guess we'll move on to my number 4 then.
Yep.
Is breathing fire a useful trait? No, it's not. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it. Do you think it is?
Why not? Well, can you turn it on and off?
Yeah.
Why not?
What the hell are you going to use it for?
If you're out in the woods,
If
and
you
you're
happen
cold,
to be on a campfire. But
if you're cold, like in the middle of nowhere, you have no heat. Let's say your car's dead or whatever. You can burn a fire and warm up.
All right. Let's get this straight here. Like you're not like it's not like a lighter where it's like a small little controlled kind of flame. Like this is like a dragon. Like
I know, like you're spreading. Yeah, that's useful.
Only in like oddly specific circumstances.
Okay.
Like, it's not like the way it's described to me is like, dude, I wish I could breathe fire like a dragon. It's like, why? Are you gonna go out and like fucking burn people alive? You're not gonna use it. You're still gonna go to work every day.
You can, but the idea is like you'd rather have it than not, because if you can, it's not like you're gonna randomly turn it on.
Sure, but like, it doesn't really serve much purpose in a normal person's life. I get, yes, if my car breaks down in the middle of nowhere and it's also winter and at night and I have like not damp firewood near me, then yeah, sure, I guess I would prefer having fire breath. But like in literally any other part of my life, I can't see myself like actually using it.
Okay, but what if you are in that scenario?
If I happen to be, sure. But
Then,
like, how many times have I actually been in that
just turn
scenario?
it off 99% of the time. But if you ever find yourself in a scenario where you're like, oh man.
Okay, my point is, like, this has been pitched to me as, like, up there with, like, super strength and flight. Like, those are powers you would want. Like, those are good ones.
No, this would become more useful if...
Absolutely not.
No. Hang on. If there were supervillains, this would become more useful.
Yes, I will concede that 100%.
Or if you wanted to be a supervillain, this would be a very useful power.
I will completely concede that if you wanted to be a supervillain, this is incredibly useful.
Yes.
But, like, is breathing fire a useful trait in the context of being a normal person with a normal life? I mean, unless you have like a kind of job that like you really wish you could burn things quickly. Like if you work like a factory job, but there's just factory tools around you and like the machinery. You're not expected to burn things with your mouth.
Yeah, but you could do it faster.
I guess you'd make $1.50 an hour instead of $1, but like,
holy shit.
I know. Yeah.
That $1 an hour.
Factories are tough, man. Oh no.
They pay 1/7 of minimum wage.
Yes, incredibly. Depending on state. Might be 1/15.
I'm just doing federal level.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, no, I don't see breathing fire as useful. Unless, okay, it is more useful than, I guess, just having nothing at all. But in the sense that, like, I guess having a sixth finger could be useful sometimes. But, like, why would I need it? My pinky, what the hell does it do? I don't need another pinky. A pinky's pinky? That's how I view fire breathing. But...
I think it could be useful.
It could be.
I don't think I just think you're not looking at all the examples here.
I don't know. I don't think
being
those
stranded.
If I were stranded, sure, but like
there you go.
I'm still casting it aside. I'm still arrogant, tossing it away.
You would never. Okay, you wouldn't have to pay for heat in your house.
How would you not have to pay for heat? Are you gonna like go like start making controlled fires everywhere all the time.
You can do a coal stove or something.
You're gonna go to your fireplace and just go with your mouth.
Yeah, why not?
That only heats the room that the fireplace is in. First of all,
no, I had a coal stove in my house.
Doesn't really heat the house very well. We have a fireplace on the other side of the house.
Yeah, it heated up well enough.
It hits the living room and maybe the kitchen, but
Listen,
it doesn't really get.
As someone that had to live under the coal stove, like the coal stove was a room right under me, it was fucking hot.
Okay, if I could breathe fire, I guess
You'd save money on heat.
I'd have to find a house that had a fireplace or several, which would be funny if it had like multiple chimneys, and like regularly not pay for heat, but still also pay for like electricity and plumbing and everything else. So my bill is just a little bit cheaper.
If you can get some sort of generator that works off of heat. Like
like
a steam generator. You could boil water.
A steam generator for my house.
Yeah.
That you know how much fucking steam you'd need to power a house? I'm just outside like every half hour, just whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Please, oh my god, whoosh. But no, all right, whatever. Fine. I'll give that a maybe. Best case, because I guess there are situations where you could.
I'm saying you could just have it on, just have it available to you. You don't have to use it; just have it available to you.
Fine.
Okay.
Fine. Angrily fine. Period at the end.
So with that,
what's your number 3, buddy?
My number 3 is everybody freezes in place for 3 seconds while being completely aware that they can't move.
All right. This is really bizarre.
Yeah.
It's so random.
This is very specific too.
Yeah, it's very oddly like very minute. Like only this time and everybody in the world, I assume.
Yeah.
They can all still see and look around them.
They can't move their eyes, but they're like complete. They can't move their eyes, but they can see, and they can hear.
Okay. Does real time stop?
No.
Okay, so if I'm like holding something out and like I freeze and I drop it, it will.
It's gonna fall.
It's gonna fall. By the time I'm unfrozen, it's already on the ground.
Yeah.
Okay, so the world then has no question that this is definitive proof that this did happen. Because otherwise, it could be like, oh, I had a psychological moment or whatever.
Cameras are recording this.
Okay, even better. That's true. I guess people would be like, that was weird. So.
Yeah.
Because like it doesn't mean
3
anything.
seconds is not enough time.
It doesn't really build in anything. There might be like cults that form. I assume that, like, what entity, mysterious...
What froze us?
What froze us? What god out there fucking did this? And I guess, sure, there'd be, like, an ongoing question that literally would never get answered because it was just, like, straight-up magic because of this question. It wasn't... There is no answer to this question.
Yeah, it's just, what would happen? People would be like, oh, that was weird, and then continue on with their lives.
Right, exactly. It'd be well-documented.
Yeah, like, maybe, like, weird scenarios, like, someone on eBay wanted to place a last-second bid, but they're frozen, so they can't get it.
I'll take it a few steps further. Let's say somebody's skydiving, Joaquin.
Ooh.
And they're about to pull their parachute, and they freeze.
And they're frozen in the air.
Oh, they physically freeze.
Yeah.
So if I jump and then it happens, I'm just in the air.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so much weirder than, like, consciously freezing yourself. Okay, all right. That is certainly weirder. Definitively magic. You know, you can't possibly prove that with science. So humanity would just always ponder this and never have any
answers.
Any answer at all. 'Cause how could you possibly figure that out? All right, yeah, there's a reason this is on minor. That's like the end of the discussion.
That was weird.
That was pretty fucking weird. All right, my number 3 is a world of sports where steroids are allowed. I was just kind of envisioning, because, like, that's a big controversy, right? Like, hey, you know, steroids are a big deal. We got to make sure that we got to test these players and stuff like that. Or even just, like, simple things like taking testosterone, you know, without having to need it, like, just regularly taking it.
Yeah.
A world where this is allowed, I feel like is a slippery slope in the future where, well, okay, steroids are cool. Well, if everybody's using steroids, then how do I beat them? I better take some even bigger, better ones, or whatever the equivalent would be, you know? If we synthesize and develop new performance-enhancing drugs and keep going, then we're going to get to a point where if you have a normal-ass body, good luck playing sports. Get out. You have no shot at all. Fucking, you know, LeBron James, more like shit-tier basketball. We got, like, 50-foot dudes who are, like, Captain America, Thanos, Hulk size, you know, like they're fucking demons. Like, there's no way. But that's kind of what I envision.
You got LeBron James versus the Space Jam 2.
Yeah.
Evil team.
Exactly.
That's literally what would happen.
Straight up.
The way I see it
is
if everybody could take the same steroids and be limited to the same amount and it's healthy.
Healthy?
I mean, doctors prescribe steroids.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, there are side effects.
There
Your
are side
junk
effects,
gets
but
real small.
It depends on the steroid.
Depending on the steroid, sure.
But
okay,
it could be fine, maybe.
Maybe. I mean,
but at the same time, you can make the argument, well, either everybody does it or nobody does it. Either way, you kind of still get the same results.
That's
at
what
the
I'm
end of the
thinking.
day, right?
That's what I'm thinking. Like, if everybody injects steroids, it's as if nobody did, because now it's nobody's edge.
Right.
So
no one has the advantage.
Yeah. So it's like if it's allowed, but you can only use just steroids and this specific brand, and everybody could take it, and everybody would, because why wouldn't they? Because they don't.
Yeah, they want the advantage.
They want the advantage.
They don't want to be.
Then it's like, well, I guess I better take it no matter what.
Yeah.
You know. Or there's even the argument to be made that, like, is it really a win? Like, if I win a gold medal and I took a shitload of steroids before I did it, is that really like an authentic win?
Did everybody else take steroids?
What if they didn't? You know what I mean?
Well, why didn't they?
What if they chose not to?
If it's allowed, then why wouldn't they do it?
All right, let's say everybody took it,
Okay.
and then I won.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yeah, is realistic given my fucking skinny ass terrible body.
With steroids, it would be much bigger.
Oh, I'd be fucking the Rock Johnson, baby. No, let's say I won and everybody used steroids also. Is that really the same thing as, like, if nobody took steroids and then I also won?
I would say yeah.
Well, if nobody took steroids, would somebody else have won? Do you know what I mean? Because, like, steroids hit everybody differently.
That's fair.
Body masses are all different to different people.
True.
So is it an authentic win? And also, the even more variant wild card in this is if I took steroids and let's say a few people on the team didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then is that win authentic? Is that not a mitigating circumstance?
Well, okay, the way I would see that is like, does a different pair of shoes change your game?
Well, no. Why would it? Unless somebody wore, like, purposely bad shoes, that would affect the game.
Right.
But, like, generally on a basketball court, everybody's wearing sneakers.
Mm-hmm.
They all look the same. Nobody's wearing, like, sandals because they would lose them the game. They would not win, you know?
I'll have you know that my game in Crocs, pretty mean, all right? I'm fucking mean, all right?
Don't you dare talk to me about Crocs while you're wearing Crocs in front of me. That's just rude, man.
I love Crocs.
Man, I'm not a Crocs guy. That's a topic in and of itself. Are Crocs good? Question mark.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Absolutely not.
Fuck you.
I don't want to see half of your feet via cheese grater. But no, steroids being allowed.
You just want to see all of my feet.
That's true. I just want them off, baby.
Mm-hmm.
No, World of Sports with steroids are allowed, I think would kind of kill the fun of sports, because when I win, and not that I win sports, I don't, but like if I were to win a medal because I was the best. Steroids had nothing to do with it. That is a clean, authentic win. Mm-hmm. I did it because I'm simply the best at the thing I did.
Way to go, Jake.
Woohoo.
Congratulations.
I have 0 medals, by the way.
Yeah.
But, like, I would feel for the person who, like, did win, but only because steroids were involved in some or all of the candidates. And it's like, well, to me, that's not the same as, like, Michael Phelps fucking being a Chad at the Olympics.
Yeah.
Because no steroids involved in any of those fucking people. They got strict rules. They test you.
Very strict.
Very strict. They even, like, he smoked weed, and that was a bit of a controversy for a while. And it's like, really? If anything, he'd be worse at swimming. But whatever. Point is, I don't like steroids being allowed because it kind of mitigates the circumstances and it nullifies the authentic nature of a win.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I wanted to bring that up in the fake pretend world of steroids being okay.
Yeah.
Anything else to add on that?
No, not really. I think we both kind of are on the same page.
Cool.
So
what's
with
number 2?
that, my number 2, should politicians have their portfolios exposed?
All right.
Clarifying stock portfolios.
Okay, so specifically their stock, like what they own, what they're investing in, and stuff like that. Okay.
And I would even go so far as to say if they're getting any contributions from certain companies.
How do you define politician? At what level do they have to?
Someone in Congress, the Senate, and anything up from there.
So in Congress, in Senate, and say, like, the White House?
No.
Not the White House?
Even
Okay.
state Senate.
Okay, state. Okay, so Congress, Senate, state Senates, local Congresses? Local
Yeah, why not?
stuff like that?
Why not?
Committees and stuff like that. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
That's pretty wide-reaching. I would say that, I'm trying to think if that's a good or a bad thing, because that comes to questions of, like, personal security. Do you know what I mean?
True, but at the same time, the issue I see with it right now, I think they should.
Okay.
The issue I see with it right now is because we can't tell what kind of contributions they're getting those contributions are directly affecting the kind of like work they put into our country.
Do you talking about like lobbying and stuff like
Yeah,
that?
like exactly.
Well, to that I would say the lobbying still exists, but it just wouldn't involve the stocks. Like a company would just pay them.
No, that would be shown too.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about stock options and all the money they receive from companies as like donations?
Yeah.
For fundraisers and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I can probably get down with that simply because I was just saying like, oh, issues of personal security and financial security. But when you're in a position of power in which you can influence the laws or legislations and people's lives are affected by that, certain tribulations and stipulations should be made on your line of work. And if you're going to enter that line of work willingly, I think it only makes sense. So I think with that, you've convinced me.
Yeah.
Not that I was particularly leaning either way, but now I am leaning a certain way. So thank you. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Because I want to see if these fuckers are like getting paid
right
to like an example, like the pharmacy industry, to like make it so healthcare isn't free. I want to see if they're being paid to lobby against that.
Or even go to like a tragic example, like all those investors in February of 2020 that dumped their stock.
Yeah.
And didn't tell anybody about it.
Yep.
Because they knew that was all going to tank.
They knew it was going to tank.
Yep. If that was public record, it would be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Who would sell fucking, what is it, Walmart or Disney or whatever? Like, who would sell those things? So, Yeah, no, that's shady as hell. So, yeah, I'd be down with that. This is our number ones, isn't it?
It is.
We're diving directly in. All right, my number one. Do artists...
Oh, wait.
Oh.
Nope. No, you have number two.
Oh, my God, I forgot my number two. Thank you. All right, my number one starts with the words do artists. Take that with what you will. Number two. Would you choose to never sleep again?
Yes. Yes.
Now, the stipulations on this, the context is you can sleep. You can choose to if you want to. But if you were to stay awake all the time, you wouldn't get, like, physically tired. And that's basically it.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Just checking.
Yes.
You got to eat more food and drink. And
sure.
stuff.
Why not?
All right.
Fuck it.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, I wrote this question down. It's like your should wars be illegal thing. It's like, yeah, why wouldn't anybody agree to never sleep again?
Yeah.
Because literally you're missing a third of your life, no matter what, and you would just get it back.
You know what? I asked my girlfriend this question, and she said, no, I wouldn't do that because I like sleep too much. And I said, the reason why you like sleep is because you need sleep.
Right.
You're required to have sleep. It's like Stockholm Syndrome.
It is exactly like Stockholm's. You're bound to sleep.
You need the sleep.
Right. Also,
but if you didn't need to sleep, you wouldn't care about sleep.
This is like the most minor reason I'm saying yes, but like we double my room as a studio. The bed takes up like a third of the fucking room. If I had like a small couch instead of a bed here, it would open up the area so well.
Yeah.
Every house ever that people say yes to no sleeping in would be so much more open.
Are you kidding me? You're not physically tired? You could do like twice as much work.
Yep. Well, a third as much work. Well, no, 50% much work.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
You can do, I mean,
50%.
Yeah, if you do like an 8-hour workday and then like another 8 hours.
Yep.
And then 8 hours to yourself.
Yeah.
That's more time than you probably have now.
Or if you're a lazy piece of shit and you work 8 hours a day and then chill out for 12 hours, that's still working 8 hours a day, which is a normal shift.
Yeah.
So, like, that's still
And
beneficial.
then you have 16 hours to yourself.
I don't know why anybody would say no. This is great.
This is great.
Also, like, you could... I'm sorry, I'm just thinking of positives.
No,
think about, like, personal security. When do break-ins happen?
When you're sleeping.
When you're fucking asleep, so you don't know. That's why alarm systems are a thing. That and when you leave the house. But other than that, it's when you're asleep. And like you're in bed, you don't want to get up, and you don't have to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd stay awake all night.
Fuck it, why not?
I've done it before willingly. So like, needing sleep, I've done that.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is great. This is perfect.
All right, glad we agree there.
Yeah, I wrote it down thinking they'd be like, oh well, no, sleep can be good, but like no.
It's good because we need it.
Literally. So that's why it's on the shit tier implication.
Water is good because we need to drink water.
We do. I'm doing it as
Food is good because we need to eat.
Would you choose to never need anything ever again?
Yeah.
All right. With that complete meltdown, what's your number one, buddy?
Okay. The Purge, but instead of crime, retail associates have master control over what they say with no repercussions.
Okay. This sounds baller. This sounds amazing.
As somebody that's worked in retail, both of us have worked in retail.
I still do.
Yeah.
It's a bank, but it's a retail.
It counts.
Counts. Yep.
Fucking yes.
Dude, somebody walks up like I gotta cash this check, and I could just be like, "It's 2021. What the fuck are you doing with a check?
Yeah, bro.
Just do literally any other form of
Get
payment.
the fuck out of here.
Are you fucking stupid?" I just like we really like berate them for no reason.
No physical violence, but
No,
you can mentally abuse the fuck out of these people
with no consequences.
after the fucking shit they've given us.
I know, it's finally a day to release.
Yes,
it's finally a
you
day.
built 364 days of being constantly shit on.
Dude, there's a guy who comes in really late, right before we close. You and I worked at Staples together. This guy did it here. Now at my current job, he also does it at my current job. If he walks in, I'd be like, "Get the fuck out! Just do not
Get
come
out.
back." You don't do anything. You hold us out way too late. So like, if we close at 5, you'll show up at 4:55 and leave at 5:15.
The only con is significantly less people would go to these stores during that day.
During that day, there is a group of people that would go just to see what they would do.
Yeah.
I would be in that group. If I didn't work that day, which I would want to work that day.
Yep.
But if I didn't work that day,
I would love to work that day.
I'd be like, "Hey, Joaquin and Ian, let's all just hang out and go shopping at like 10 different stores today." This sounds fun as fuck. Like, I would definitely go.
You son of a bitch.
Can you imagine like getting roasted by like the cashier
You
as you walk in?
Fucking hate you.
Like,
What do you fucking want?
Fucking big dumb idiot with fucking stupid ass fucking face. What do you want? Sorry, I'm laughing so hard I'm coughing. That sounds really fun. I would do that.
Yeah.
I don't see anything. Okay, yes, I do technically see consequences. Because, like, technically, all right, let's say that you're a cashier and somebody walks in and they're black and you say the N-word at them.
Well, don't do that.
Well, okay.
Oh, no repercussions.
Isn't that covered under no repercussions?
Ooh.
So,
Ooh.
technically, people who are mean, evil people would not get fired for saying things that they should probably never say in, like, in life. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So,
but the way I would, that's kind of minor. At the end, I know. Listen, I'm a black person.
I was about to say that you have a
I'm
personal
black.
stake in this game.
I'm black, but if somebody called me the N-word on that day, I'd be like, well, fuck.
Be like, well, I guess I'll take it.
Yeah, you know. I did kind of walk into this situation. It's not my fault, but I did go to the store that hired a racist employee on the day that they're allowed to be racist.
I guess so. I guess they do get a free pass. Although I guess the boss at that point would be like, "Hey, the fuck you doing? No, get over here. You can't do that. You can start insulting people, but like that's just uncalled for."
Yeah.
But then the employee would have the full coverage of like, you can't say that to me because today is the fun day. Suck my dick.
Okay, but now the boss knows that they're racist.
Yeah, that's true. They'd be outed as a racist, and that the next day they'd be like, "Hey, listen, we've thought about it. Get out.
Yeah.
We don't want racists."
We don't want racists.
Yeah.
No, that's a good point. We don't want racists.
We don't. We definitely don't want them. Yeah. No, I think the purge, but instead of crime, it was just people who work at places like retail could just say whatever they want to customers. That situation does have some type of like consequence, even if it says there's no consequence. Because like if you walk into a store and somebody calls you the N-word, then the boss would be like, "All right, I'm aware that this person is now a racist."
Yep.
And even if like normal days go by, like after that point they don't say any more racist things, the boss still knows that they're a racist person, and that's that you can't.
They
take
don't
that
have
back.
to fire them either. They could just give them less hours until they
Yep.
quit, or like a scenario like that.
Be like, yeah, I'm gonna schedule you only on like the fucking half.
Just
a shift.
not schedule them on that day.
Next year when this day happens again, they won't put them on that
Yep.
day. That's an okay move.
Yeah.
Bosses can choose who's on their shift.
That's
so
fair.
That's a simple move. Bosses still have like.
I beg my boss to please. I want to work on this day.
I want to say the N-word so bad.
I'll take half pay.
I'll show for free. No, that's not worth it. But like, yeah, no, it's that sounds fun as hell.
Yeah.
With consequences, even if it says there aren't any, there are some, but that does sound fun.
That's the purge basically.
That is just basically the purge. Yeah. That's what the purge movies are about.
Yeah.
Consequences despite no consequences.
Yep.
All right. Number 1 for me.
Now, we already know you said do artists.
Do
But do you want to
artists,
finish that
I guess
statement?
I will finish. Do artists have an obligation to create morally good work?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. Explain your reasoning, Joaquin.
Why?
Well, okay, because, like, what's, like, the worst hunk of shit? Cuties on Netflix, right? Frickin' the filmmaker intended to make a good film, I think, and it came off as softcore child pornography.
Yep.
So that's on Netflix streaming right now. Do you think that they have an obligation to not have made the movie like that?
No.
Morally? No?
No.
Okay.
Here's my thing.
Okay.
You can make shitty work, right? And tons of people have.
Yep.
Nobody has to pick it up.
That is true.
You can keep it to yourself privately. You can try to, workshop it around, but I'm sure maybe if you're Netflix, you'll pick it up apparently, but anybody else,
And
they'll
I'm
be
not-
like,
yeah.
no.
I'm not talking about, like, like Transformers where it's just a bad film.
Just a bad film. Yeah.
Right? It's just like it's just the story makes no sense, the runtime, all this kind of shit. I'm not talking about making or not making those. I mean talking about like making like a controversial thing where the moral of the story is a bad moral or something, like it demonizes good people and says that Nazis are good or something like that,
Again, this type of work already exists.
It does exist already. Do artists have an obligation to not do morally evil things? Like fictional work that they're creating.
Artists can do whatever the fuck they want.
Okay. I'm kind of on your side about this. Simply because I don't like the idea of rules on art.
As long as it's not illegal. Like, as long as it's not literally child pornography.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because then, I mean, you could do that if you wanted to, but then I hope you get the fucking repercussions you deserve, you
Right.
sick son of a bitch.
Right. If you literally break the law, I guess that's a separate situation.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get consequences for that. But
Consequences exist.
right. But, like, let's say, like, it's not even that offensive, but, like, Star Wars The Phantom Menace, Jar Jar, Jamaican accent, silly caricature of a character. Morally, you could say, like, hey, that's a kind of shitty stereotype thing to do. But I guess it was George Lucas's decision to do it.
Yeah.
And you can choose not to watch The Phantom Menace, as I currently do every day of my life.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I would veer on the side of let the artists do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Because as long as because at the end of the day, they're making a fictional piece of work. They're not going out killing anybody.
Yeah.
They're not going out, like, saying the N-word at a public store, for example. They're just...
The common phrase is art is subjective,
Art is subjective, yeah.
And there's definitely a target audience for that sort of shit.
Right. And, yeah...
People look at Jar Jar and they go, haha, he's funny.
Except not really.
Well, there are definitely some people that think Jar Jar is hilarious.
There were kids in 2000 or 1999.
Yep.
There are kids in that time that would definitely watch that and go, hee hee, fun, 10 out of 10. But
Yay,
yeah.
Jar Jar Binks.
At the end of the day, what you're saying is true too. Where like it's on them to make whatever they want to, but it depends if they're gonna like make a movie that'll appeal to anybody.
Yeah.
So if you make like Nazi propaganda, you're not getting a wide release.
No.
Absolutely not. Like no studio is gonna touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
So like you're never gonna make any kind of money off that movie. So.
But hey, you know what? If you got the money for it, go right ahead.
Yeah, you know what? I bet there's some film festival out there that supports, KKK that would love your documentary. Fucking fictional.
I mean,
piece
you
of work.
got someone like Gina Carino that got picked up to do Ben Shapiro movies.
Right. On that same token, she should have the power to do that, and fucking Daily Wire should have the power to pick her up and do.
Go
movies.
right ahead.
So yeah,
Go
that's
right ahead.
have fun.
I hope you guys go bankrupt, you sick son of a bitch. But hey,
realistically, fucking nobody's gonna release those movies except like direct to video on demand.
Asylum.
Asylum's gonna pick them up. Asylum would.
Oh my god, Asylum would just call it like I don't know. They take like a popular movie at the time and just put Nazi in front of it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Nazi overlord. No, literally. Nazis at the center of the earth. Sorry. The reason why I'm so well versed in Asylum, there is a video, it's probably up on the channel by now, where Ian will say the real movie title, and we have to guess the Asylum title they made.
Yep.
and we had a lot of fucking fun.
It was pretty fun.
It's a real bitch to edit.
We
Just
got
so much time.
There's a lot of Asylum movies.
There are. It's so much easier than like a Massive Imp episode.
And sometimes we got surprisingly close, or we got dead on.
Dead on.
That literally sometimes we just knew it.
So many times, just say the author's name and then the work.
Yeah.
I won because he said what rips off Sherlock Holmes 2011, and I was like, I don't know, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's Sherlock Holmes.
Yep.
He's like, yeah, that's it.
Yep.
It's like what? Because they did that with War of the Worlds and like Grimm's Snow White. But yeah, no, sorry, this is unrelated. Point is, do artists have an obligation? I guess since Asylum exists, they don't have an obligation.
To make good work.
Fucking hell. I would call the Asylum morally evil because they're just aping off of other people's hard work.
Yeah.
They're not doing anything.
They're
like,
literal con artists. Yes.
They're leeches. They're parasites.
Yep.
So,
you know what, Jake? With that, let's wrap things up.
let's wrap things up.
We're going to hear what you guys have to say.
Yes, we are.
As always, leave a comment below with your opinions and takeaways from today's topics, multiple,
Yep.
and it'll be responded to on the very next episode. And with that, I believe we got some comments on our last episode.
I believe we did.
So
Are you pulling them up? Or...
I'm pulling them up right now.
Okay, good, because I don't have them in front of me at this particular moment. I should have prepared for this. What was last episode? Was it Genies?
It was Genies.
Okay. I got them. I have 2 comments here. I have Ricardo Santos and Pyramid Head as our 2 comments on our last video, What If Genies Were Real? I'll start with the shorter one first. Ricardo Santos says, make the genies to give me 3 wishes. 1, remove from all humans diseases and viruses.
Okay.
2, give an electric functional car to every single person who drives or knows how to drive. And 3, make or grant a suitable planet to live at other part of the galaxy. You guys are epic with these podcasts. First of all, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ricardo.
I really appreciate the compliment because we work pretty hard on these podcasts. It's good to hear the feedback.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start at the top. Remove from all humans diseases and viruses. Awesome idea. I
Sure.
thought about that when doing my 3 wishes, but I was a little bit more selfish. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's an awesome one. Can't complain about that. Give electrical functional car to every single person who drives knows how to drive.
There's an issue with this.
Uh-oh.
The idea behind it is good.
Sure.
The problem is just because they're not producing like CO2,
Yep.
carbon emissions, they still have waste in other forms.
And what's their waste? I'm not really well versed in that kind of
Well,
stuff.
you have to charge them.
You do.
Like the power comes from somewhere.
Right. And
And if everybody now that knows how to drive gets an electric car, first of all, some people aren't going to have a space to put their car. That's a big one. 2, you now have everybody going to charge their electric vehicles solely off of fucking gas power. Because that's what we're using right now. That's,
I think it's coal. for
Coal.
that, Yep.
Fucking, and that's horrible for
That
the
is horrible.
environment.
Yep.
So
Although,
it's a balancing act.
let's put it this way. The way I see it, and the way that I acknowledge that you're correct, but still electric cars are better, is that I already pay a thick, meaty electric bill every month.
Yep.
Why would I, instead of paying slightly larger of an electric bill, pay the same electric bill, but then also buy gas every week? Wouldn't just paying a little bit more for electricity be better for me and the environment?
It would be better for you as a convenience, but
I think that'd be better than just buying gasoline straight. No,
It's
because
a-
I am just going directly to gas and buying it.
it's a balancing act.
It is a balancing
It's
act.
definitely a balancing act because now everybody has a car. Everybody's going to be charging their cars.
Yeah, and you can make the argument that, like, well, with my electric bill, if I charge my car with electricity, right? My electric bill goes to everything I charge electronically, like my computers and stuff like that. And I can use those computers to do good for the environment. Like, I could donate to certain websites.
Yeah.
Whereas, there's no way I can drive a car with gas in it to be good for the environment.
No.
Nothing I could possibly do in my gas-guzzling car would benefit the environment.
No,
So,
that's
like,
fair.
So I think, even with that being true, it's still a better alternative.
I would phrase it in a different way. Everybody gets an electric car that can be powered by solar.
Solar or
So you
electric?
could just charge your car in the sunlight
Sure.
and your car could easily be packed away.
Yes. Well,
Like,
though, how do you... is it
Foldable
like
cars.
Origami car?
Foldable cars. Or like you press a button and it folds itself. It's like a transformer.
So what does it transform into? Like a suitcase?
I don't know. It's a genie, dog. It can do anything.
Oh, that's true. I could just like snap my fingers and there's no more car
Yeah.
until I snap them again. Okay. All right. I'm with you. All right. Fair enough. Why not just wish to teleport? Everybody can teleport.
That's true. You could.
Although that security. Okay, that'd be a problem.
Yeah.
All right, never mind. Go to the cars. Yeah, I'm good with the cars. And then
with
the
the
last
cars.
thing he says, make or grant a suitable planet to live at another part of the galaxy. Okay,
Why not?
that's not a bad idea. Personally, I would rather use the wish to keep Earth a suitable planet rather than, fuck Earth, let's just make a new Earth.
Yeah.
Because, like, people are talking about terraforming Mars.
Yep.
And it's like, I'm not against it, but they're like...
Focus the effort on the planet that we're on right now.
We already live here. It's like if you keep destroying your own house and now you're looking at new houses.
I need to get another house. Just stop destroying your house.
Just build the house back. You have the if you have the power to like fucking nuke the ice caps of Mars and fucking plant things.
To bring cars back into the example, it's not like, oh, well, I ran out of gas. Time to get another car. No.
So yeah, I would rather use like whatever resource, not even just magic aside, like just what resources we have to benefit Earth instead of trying to leave it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just me. But yeah, no, I'm not opposed to a new planet. Can't go wrong with a multi-planet species, asteroid blowing one up. So protect us. It's cool.
All right. Thank you, Ricardo, for the comment.
See you next time and next week. And I wonder which of these wonderful 10 or all of them, I don't know, you want to respond to. Kierman Head comes back with a heavy-hitting, thick paragraph. You ready? I actually have a question of my own here. Since genies seem pretty sapient, wouldn't literally being able to buy one count as slavery and be incredibly illegal? Oh, God. This harkens back to the first episode, of course, which is the animals gaining sentience. He continues, even if it didn't devolve into total chaos, I think there would be quite a push to free them all. And Bruce Almighty is indeed great. Ha! Joaquin, put in your list. Although I might be biased, if I had to go into more detail about my chaos plan, I'd have to rewatch the movie and go over the workings of the show to really figure my idea out. I actually thought about Pangaea, Antarctica a little bit more. This is for the other one. India and Pakistan would both be right there, still have nuclear weapons, and very possibly still want to nuke each other. And all of Australia's deadly wildlife would be there too.
Yeah.
I like the idea that like he's describing real things like, oh, India and Pakistan with nukes and go real war, and then also like the emus are gonna jump in and start kicking everybody in the face. Like, it's just like an icing on the cake right there. It's pretty nice. But yeah, you bring up some good
still
points.
A shit show.
Still a shit show. No matter how you slice it. It's kind of funny too because most episodes are just describing a shit show of our podcast. That's just how it goes.
You just added more to the shit show.
Yep, we did 10 shit shows.
Yep.
Just this episode alone. So
well, we had some good ones in there.
We did. But like in the sense that like the world is just gonna be hell.
Yeah.
This is bad. But yeah, no, genies would be. There might be like genie rights movements and stuff like that.
Genie rights movements. You're right.
At the risk of having our episode go on way too long, we decided to not address any of that. So. Because we did like an hour and a half one on the illegal episode or versus illegal episode. Yeah.
Also, hey, Pyramid Head, if you're so concerned about genie rights, why don't you just buy a genie lamp and wish for all genies to be free?
Ah.
Checkmate.
Fucking got him. Fucking roasted. I can't wait till he hears that. But yeah, I thought you were gonna say if you're so concerned about it, do a podcast because he also does podcasts. Yeah. Do your own thing.
Idiot.
No, fucking got him.
No, Pyramid Head, we love you.
We love you very much. You're easily I think you're the oldest fan on the channel because you were there when like we had like 10 subscribers. So hell yeah, nice. Thank you so much. And with that, I think that's all of them.
Yeah.
I believe that's every single one.
Yep.
Alrighty. That just about does us this week.
Okay.
So catch you guys in 2 weeks for a normal episode of Mass Implications.
It's Jake's topic.
It is my topic, and we're going to have a lot of fun doing it.
Yes, we are.
All right. See you then.
See ya.